KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
This is quite the scene, and officials are still there after a fiery multi-vehicle collision in Seguin involving a couple of big rigs and as many as 4 other vehicles. Police there saying there are a number of people killed in this crash. They have not yet said how many. It happened in the eastbound lanes of I-10 a couple of hours ago on the overpass over State Highway 123. We're told the first semi lost its cargo of meat. That made the highway slick. The second semi tried to avoid the road and crashed into the guardrail.
That set off a chain reaction crash with other vehicles crashing as the crashed semi then burst into flames. Both lanes of the interstate were closed, along with 123 underneath here, while crews worked to put out that fire. The westbound lanes of I-10 have since reopened, but the eastbound lanes, they remain closed right now. We do hope to have an update on this wreck during our newscast. Meantime, centered around the growing city of New Braunfels, Comal County is fighting a wave of COVID-19.
Yeah, though the number of new cases took a dip today, they've generally been high, having hit an all-time peak last week. That means hospitals are once again feeling the pinch.
Our Garrett Berger talked with hospitals about how they're handling this.
With 81 COVID-19 patients across Comal County hospitals, the president of Christus Santa Rosa Hospital in New Braunfels says his hospital is strained.
It's stressful. It's life and death. Our clinicians have done this for, 18 months now.
The ER was pretty slow at Santa Rosa today when we visited, but the hospital president says capacity problems over the past few weeks have meant less urgent patients are occasionally having longer wait times, and they're more frequently having to divert EMS arrivals.
Although we are seeing that influx, and there are times when wait times and things that we would not typically see during non-COVID peak periods take place, we're able to manage through those pretty efficiently.
And capacity problems at both Christus Santa Rosa and Resolute Health across town mean that after people get into the ER, they may still have to wait to get up to an inpatient bed. Resolute Health's chief nursing officer says that could even take a couple of days.
It does cause, some problems because we run out of treatment spaces to take care of those patients.
The state says nearly 58% of the eligible population in Comal County is vaccinated. Almost all of the hospitalized patients in Comal County, though, are not.
At the end of the day, that is the most effective way to take care of the surge we're seeing, is to have a higher vaccination rate.
In Comal County, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
In Bexar County, the mask mandate on hold, temporarily blocked by the Texas Supreme Court. Governor Greg Abbott and State Attorney General Ken Paxton seeking a stay on the injunction to the governor's executive order banning government agencies from issuing mask mandates. The block is temporary. No ruling yet on the state request to permanently lift that injunction. The state argued that Bexar County's mandate breaches the governor's authority, and it adds to public confusion about masks. For the county's part, attorneys say the governor's executive order banning mask mandates violates the Texas Health and Safety Code, which allows local health officials to enact mandates for public health reasons.
And while there's a lot of talk about COVID vaccines and face masks at schools, some school districts are focusing on COVID-19 testing weekly to protect their staff and students. Community Labs, a nonprofit that provides testing services, has already partnered with more than 10 San Antonio area school districts this year to help ensure a safe learning environment for students. Tiffany Huerta spoke with a teacher who says testing weekly, bringing them a sense of relief.
Staff at Somerset ISD were tested for COVID-19 even before school started.
It brings peace of mind, especially to teachers.
Community Labs began conducting mass testing at this district last year. Elizabeth Sanchez, a third grade teacher at Somerset Elementary School, says it helped many students, including one of hers who tested positive and didn't have any symptoms at the time.
Because he tested positive, his mom tested, his brothers and sisters, and they ended up being positive as well.
Community Labs is conducting weekly PCR tests at local school districts and returns results within 24 hours to allow those with a positive result to quickly isolate. Sal Weber, the president of Community Labs, says testing continues to be a really strong tool in this fight against COVID.
We've made improvements in our overall process over the summer. We've added capacity. We've made it easier for the schools to schedule testing with us.
Weber says they have the ability to process 24,000 samples a day. Last year, the average positivity rate on the campuses where they tested was less than 1%. Now they are seeing higher positivity rates.
This year, we're at 3 to 4%, depending on the school.
Other school districts are offering other testing options. At Northeast ISD, they are offering rapid testing at all schools. A registered nurse on each campus performs the test. As for Elizabeth,
We were excited that we got to get screened again.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
The Texas Organizing Project delivering a letter to Bexar County judges urging them to ease crowding in the county jail. This is in response to Governor Greg Abbott's order restricting the release of inmates over the last year because of the pandemic. Bexar County Administrative Judge Ron Hell ruled that order unconstitutional. The letter from the Texas Organizing Project reminding local judges of that ruling, as the organization calls the restriction of releases a, quote, dangerous expansion of pretrial detention.
We know that incarcerating people who pose no threat to the community does more harm than good. We do know that over 170 people are still being incarcerated due to this unconstitutional executive order.
Meantime, in Tuesday's COVID-19 briefing, County Judge Nelson Wolf acknowledged that inmates are being held at the jail longer. He said helping lead to further spread of COVID-19.
In New at 6, it's a step in trying to reduce domestic violence cases in Bexar County. A specialty court created last year called Reflejo Court has come a long way in a year as it looks to expand. Erica Hernandez on Reflejo Court and an upcoming event.
For the past year, Reflejo Court has been providing services in hopes of decreasing the amount of domestic violence cases in Bexar County.
We provide trauma-informed services to first-time offenders of domestic violence with a history of substance abuse. We focus on that first-time offender to keep them out of the judicial system.
Judge Rosie Speedling Gonzalez presides over Reflejo Court, which is a 12-month program consisting of 4 phases. Currently, there are close to 25 participants in the program, and 4 will successfully graduate on Friday. It's a ceremony that will include a first-of-its-kind symposium that the community is invited to.
We opened it up to the public because we wanted our community to know what the type of work we are doing is with Reflejo Court.
It will all take place here at the Family Services Neighborhood Place at 3014 Rivas.
My hope and long-term goal is to offer this program to everyone that comes in through the misdemeanor courts. And maybe one day everyone that is charged with family violence, regardless of whether it's a misdemeanor level or a felony level.
Right now on KSAT.com, you can find the schedule of the events going on tomorrow, as well as a link to the live stream of the symposium and graduation. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
With the news of the 2 explosions in Kabul today, the effort to help get people out of Afghanistan is only getting more frantic. Russian officials saying at least 13 people are dead. The Pentagon says several American service members are among those killed. Lark Escobar, who is trying to help people she worked with as a trainer for the U.S. military, says there are all kinds of challenges.
The Taliban were taking apart and dismantling the entire communications towers. So internet was cut, phone was cut, electricity was cut to try and control population movement. So it was very slow and tedious to try and get all of their identification documents. And then in the process of doing that, the Taliban came, raided homes, looted them, tossed them, took all of their identification documents and cards in most cases, spray painted their homes, marked them and said, we're coming back on Friday to shoot you. So that began the clock ticking of trying to get them out.
Escobar says the people she is trying to help left the airport 3 hours before the attacks. And while she continues to try to help, she says her friends are moving from place to place, trying to stay safe as things get worse.
Traffic Authority report right now. Let's go to 410 and Fredericksburg Road. This is just past I-10, I believe. It may actually be towards I-10. You see the slow moving traffic. I believe there may be a stalled car here. Again, this is Loop 410 at Fredericksburg Road.
Let's take another look outside. This view from Sky 12, flying high above the Pearl out there. Hoping some people are under those blue umbrellas.
I was going to say they've got some umbrellas out there now.
Providing some shade, yeah.
And some parts of town actually had a little downpour or two earlier today, especially on the north side around 1604 this afternoon. Right now you look from the south side looking northward. No showers in sight locally. We could use a splash of water. The aquifer is down a little bit again today. It's down about 0.3 of a foot, and now we're just about 1 foot above the August average. Still year-round watering rules, but that 10-day average is getting awfully close to when stage 1 would be enacted. So something we're watching, of course, and could use some rain. Locally around town, hey, one little downpour near I-10, Fair Oaks Ranch area. We've got an outflow boundary that's moving through, may kick up a shower or two. Cuero, you just had a downpour. This is coming to an end and fizzling out, but a few little pop-ups out ahead of it closer to Karnes City as the outflow continues to move. And it's nice to see this activity moving out of the hill country, heading to the southwest toward Highway 90 far west of San Antonio. We're moving through Concan right now, and we'll see how much longer this can hold together. It's a little more organized. Hopefully some of you folks in Uvalde toward Bracketville can actually cash in on some of that. Looking ahead this evening, those storms coming to an end after dark. We'll have an update on Tropical Storm Ida coming up in a bit.
Just about time now for another briefing on COVID-19 cases in our community. We've heard from the mayor and the county judge again talking about the critical situation our hospitals are in.
Yeah, and we continue to hear about the court proceedings as well. I'm sure they'll weigh in on the latest decision that came down against the city and the county. Let's go live to City Hall.
Health system, along with our city attorney, Andy Segovia, and medical director, Dr. Junda Wu. This is our COVID-19 update for the San Antonio community. Very quickly at first, we do want to say today's Texas Supreme Court ruling, which you may have heard about, was procedural. The Supreme Court did not rule on the merits of the case. Therefore, the city and the county will continue our appeal on the merits of the case in the Fourth Court of Appeals, and again on requirements for mask wearing, which remain in place at our local school districts. Do want to go now to the case numbers. Today we are reporting 1,341 cases of COVID-19. Our 7-day moving average is now 1,126. We are sadly reporting 15 new deaths tonight. We've lost 3,817 friends, neighbors, and loved ones to this virus. Please continue to keep them and their families in your prayers tonight. It is worth noting that we have reported 45 deaths recorded in the last 2 days. Of those, 100% were unvaccinated individuals. So again, we continue to remind folks to protect yourself and your loved ones. Since August 11th, 32% of the deaths have occurred among individuals under the age of 50, with 17% occurring among those younger than 40 years. In the past, it was less than 10% of deaths occurred among those less than 50 years old, and 5% of those under 40 years old. And we know we have a tremendous amount of work to do to get vaccination rates up in the lower age groups. Over in the hospitals, there are 1,365 patients in area hospitals this evening with COVID-19. There were 160 new admissions in the last 24 hours with COVID-19. 394 folks are in the ICU. 342 are on ventilators. 87% of patients in area hospitals are unvaccinated. 29 patients are children. As far as vaccination rates, we continue to see some uptick, and that is good news. 67.1% of eligible Bexar County residents are fully vaccinated, and 83.2% of residents who are eligible have received at least one dose. Remember, there are about 20% of our total population are under the age of 12 and therefore uneligible to be vaccinated. So when you think about the concept of herd immunity and where we are with vaccination rates among the whole population, we're closer to about 50%. So we need to continue to work hard to get folks vaccinated. Let me now turn to Judge Wolf.
Well, while we're not happy about the Supreme Court ruling, the main thing is that the merits of the case will continue, in all likelihood end up back in the Fourth Court of Appeals, where they will have a hearing on the merits of the temporary injunction, legal documents filed, etc. So that's ongoing. The good news is that the schools, under the TEA provision that they're not going to enforce the mandate that the governor gave out that nobody has to wear one, and then the district attorney, Joe Gonzalez, stepped up today and said he will not try to prosecute any school official if they continue the mandates. I believe Northside School District stood up today and said they would continue. I believe Northeast stood up and continued. So I think most of all our school districts will continue to do that, and that's why we're in this battle. Now we got children in school. They're all, well, maybe a few that are 18 or older, but almost all of them are pediatric cases. We see that going up. And so what we're doing now, and what we're seeing a dangerous time, not just because of COVID among the young, but RSV, which is another dangerous virus that's out there. Flu season will be started, so we're going to have a triple threat. Flu, RSV, and COVID with young people. And that's why this mandate for masks set up by the school districts, they're doing the right thing, and I support them, and I know the mayor and I support them 100%. So that's going to continue, and hopefully nothing else will change at the state level that will stop that. That's why we made all this effort to file the lawsuits. That's why TEA is not trying to stop us, because litigation's going on, and we were here principally to save our children. And it's so distressing to see the governor of this state doing everything else that he can possibly do to stop us from saving them. So that part is good, and we'll continue to move forward on that.
Thank you, Judge. I also want to remind you to stay vigilant. If you do need a testing location, you can visit any of our...
All right, that's the very latest from City Hall with the county judge and the mayor. One of the things that the mayor said that stood out to me, in the last 2 days, 45 deaths have been reported. All of those people were unvaccinated. And 32% of the new cases are people under 50.
That's certainly a trend we've seen with this Delta variant, younger patients being much more severely affected than previously in the pandemic. We know that there are 5 more children that have now been hospitalized, a total of 29 kids right now hospitalized with COVID-19. That 7-day moving average, that number we keep looking at, 1,126 new cases when you focus on the 7-day moving average. And I know you mentioned the Supreme Court ruling. That is a big focus of what was part of today's briefing, and the county judge and the mayor noted it's procedural. So they're saying that right now the mask mandate for the city and the county, it stands as the city and county works on their appeal going forward.
Right, the Texas Supreme Court making that ruling, but it does not stop what is happening in the court case necessarily.
No.
All right, let's switch over to weather right now. It is hot out there, but is there a chance of rain, and what's happening in the Gulf, Adam?
Yeah, we've got daily pop-up afternoon showers, quick splash and dash, highly isolated. You know, right along 1604 on the north side of town from Stone Oak toward La Cantera, the Rim, UTSA, on down toward Brandeis High School and Bandera Road. We had about 1/4 inch of rain today. That was it, though, across our area for the most part. All right, I want to get you updated on the tropics. Let's talk about Tropical Storm Ida. It's that cluster of thunderstorms that you see coming together just south of Cuba at this time. Low-end tropical storm, very weak system right now. But the key with this is it's going to emerge into the Gulf of Mexico by Saturday. And at that point, conditions should be very favorable for rapid intensification. So it's likely to strengthen very quickly through Saturday, even on into the first part of Sunday, and then potentially make landfall somewhere along the Louisiana to Mississippi coastline Sunday midday into the afternoon as a Category 2. Wouldn't shock me if this is even a Category 3 hurricane, at least at that point. We'll keep you updated. But right now, the key is with this track, it's far east of our area, and even the impacts and effects are right now most likely to stay east of Texas. They can get some rain in East Texas, but right now, odds favor this staying farther to the east of Texas and mainly affecting Louisiana and Mississippi. However, of course, these tracks are subject to change. The system is still developing, and that path will probably change a little bit in the days ahead. Look at the temperatures right now. Rock Springs at 75, some rain-cooled air. Elsewhere, we're in the 90s. Looking ahead, you see some daily pop-up showers in the afternoon through Sunday, then dry, mostly mid-90s.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
We'll be right back with sports. We
We are less than 45 minutes away from the 2021 high school football season kicking off in South Texas. We have 9 games tonight, including the Southside Cardinals, number 7 and 12's top 12, on the road in Corpus to open up with Brownsville Lopez at 7 p.m. Southside quarterback and Nebraska commit Richard Torres will get his first chance as a senior to light up the scoreboard. Head coach Ricky Locke is thrilled to be playing with COVID-19 still causing problems.
Yeah, it's, hold your breath and wait 10 minutes and it's going to change. I mean, it's a lot of adversity, a lot of change. You never know with this pandemic. We've been doing everything we can to do it right here. You know, we're wearing a mask inside, and players have been told and informed and keeping everything sanitized and, doing everything we can do, and hopefully we can stay away from COVID this year.
Led by their second-year head coach Quincy Stewart, the Sam Houston Hurricanes will face Fredericksburg tonight at 7 at the Rock Pile. Last season, COVID-19 wiped out his off-season workouts and half of the Canes' schedule. Coach said his seniors learned a lot as juniors last season.
They learned that you can't take things for granted. You can't. Everything has to be up tempo and ready to go because you never know when you'll never get another opportunity. So they learned a lot this year. We were fortunate to have a boot camp, and through the boot camp we taught a lot of character building material. So a lot of them have grown up and taken a leadership role.
Tonight also marks our first live broadcast with our new partner, Texas Sports Productions. It's our KSAT MeTV TSP Game of the Week featuring the Madison Mavericks and Clemens Buffaloes at Linhoff Stadium. And you can see it live over the air on station 12.2. That's just one of 3 streaming games you can watch tonight on the KSAT 12 Big Game Coverage app, with the other 2 games being Clark and Harlan and Del Rio versus SA Veterans Memorial. Now tomorrow night you can catch 9 more streaming games, followed by 2 more on Saturday. These streams are free of charge, and all you have to do is download the KSAT BGC app and sign up for the BGC Insider page, and after that you are good to go. Our first BGC road trip this season will kick off tomorrow night at Davenport High School, home of the Wolves. Entering their 2nd season of football, the Wolves are still sub-varsity and will not play in a district until next season during the UIL's 2022-2024 realignment. Starting a program from scratch is pretty darn cool.
There's not a lot of people that get to open a school and start a football program, and it's starting new traditions everywhere. It's from the ground up. There's no bad habits. There's no bad seeds in it. Everybody's starting from the beginning. Everybody's meeting each other for the first time. So it's been a great experience just watching these kids grow.
It's an amazing feeling, honestly. Last year, it was cool because we were setting a culture and the traditions and all that stuff. So it's just cool to be a part of that.
I think kind of like building a brand new culture and building a brand new program is huge. I think it's fun to see all these younger kids grow, especially because we opened the school with just freshmen, sophomore, and juniors. We didn't really have upperclassmen, and I think that it's like really important to me to kind of set the tone and make sure everything here runs smoothly and straight.
Our road trip goes down tomorrow night with Blanco at Davenport, East Central at New Braunfels Canyon, and San Marcos at New Braunfels. Guys, I am ready to go.
I think Steve is too. There was a bit of a dance when we started talking.
I saw that.
Yeah.
You got some moves.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
When the mood strikes me, Caskey, no, yeah, like he's the arbiter of all dance moves.
The floss.
Come on.
We'll be right back.
Stick to thermometers. Separating the fact from the fiction when it comes to COVID-19 is what we try to do when we have Dr. Ruth Bergeron from the Long School of Medicine at UT Health San Antonio join us, as she is joining us now live. Dr. Bergeron, thank you so much for your time. A lot of the things that I want to talk about today have been kind of resurfacing because of a lot of the debates that are taking place at school boards across San Antonio, across South Texas, across the country. One of them that I've heard, one of the arguments is that masks are not effective or only about 50% effective. And if you touch something and then touch your mask, it is ruined. Your answer to that?
So masks are really helpful. And of course, they're not 100% effective. But let me give you an analogy that's very, very helpful. When you get in your car and you go somewhere, you're going to do 2 things to maximize your safety in that car. You're going to wear a seatbelt and you're going to mind the speed limit. And you know full well that doing both of those things doesn't hand you a guarantee that you won't get in an accident or that you won't be harmed or that you won't get killed. But you know those things work because they improve your odds and they improve your safety. Well, we have things that are like seat belts and observing speed limits, and it's wearing that mask and it's getting vaccinated. And you need to do both of those things to maximize your odds of a good outcome and staying healthy. As far as how effective the masks are, that depends on a lot of things. Are you wearing it correctly? Are you wearing it over your mouth and nose? Do you have a nicely tight-fitting mask up around the sides of your face, or is there a big gap? Are you wearing it consistently, or are you taking it off to eat and drink and play sports when you're around a lot of other people? All of those things will affect how effective the mask is. But the longer you can spend with your mask properly fitted, the better odds you have that you're going to have fewer respiratory particles invading your airways and potentially infecting you.
We've been at this for 18 months now. Is there anything that you know about that indicates there is a physical harm from wearing a mask?
No, absolutely not. In fact, we have some studies in at least one peer-reviewed journal that looked at this specifically, and there is no evidence of harm from masking, not at all. And so there's a lot of misinformation that is circulating on TikTok and Twitter and so forth, and it's just simply not corroborated by scientifically published literature.
All right, I want to get to one of the next ones, and it has to do with natural immunities. We can build up natural immunities to COVID, and we aren't going to get very sick anyway, so we should just get it and get it over with to build natural immunities. We don't have natural immunities to the flu and other things. I don't know why we would to COVID, but I'll let you explain.
So when you get COVID and you get over it, it is true that you have an immune response and you have measurable antibodies. And it's also true, and we now know this from data, and there was a very well documented episode in Brazil, in fact, where lots of people got COVID, lots of people got over it. And then later on, when a new variant came along, those people got COVID again, and there was no guarantee that they were going to have a less severe case. So we know from what we're observing and the data that's being kept track of around the world that yes, you can get another infection from COVID. So just relying on natural immunity is not enough. There's been another study that was published recently, and it involved data from the United States that showed that people who had been just recovered from COVID, relying on that natural immunity, were twice as likely to get COVID again than fully vaccinated people. So natural immunity does contribute to an immune response. It is somewhat protected for a time, but that natural immunity wears off, and we know from around the world that natural immunity is not sufficient to protect you from getting COVID again, or even for protecting you from dying of COVID.
I think at this point in the pandemic, the focus is largely on children, especially since we're in the middle of this surge as school starts up once again. And there is still that belief that, like we saw previously, children don't get as seriously ill with COVID-19. The Delta variant is changing that conversation. So what do you think people need to understand about what we know about this Delta variant and the risk to kids?
Right. So the Delta variant is just highly, highly infectious. It's as infectious as chickenpox. It's far more infectious than the earlier strains of COVID that we were dealing with, which means that it's harder to prevent people from getting it. And kids are especially vulnerable because we can't immunize the under 12-year-olds yet. And so we're seeing proportionally across the country more kids coming in with COVID and filling up pediatric hospitals and pediatric ICUs. I'm not a pediatrician, but I speak regularly to pediatric infectious disease specialists, and we have been seeing this around Texas. And, you know, in a couple of more months, we're going to have all of the numbers for you. It is still generally true that the younger people are not going to get as severely ill as old folks and folks who have multiple comorbid conditions such as diabetes and high blood pressure and heart failure and lung disease. Kids don't have as many of those things. So it's true that their odds are better than an 80-year-old with a bunch of diseases. But the truth is that we are seeing children that are having very severe cases. And we hate to see that because we know that this is a preventable disease.
I know that we all wish we had a roadmap of where we are headed. And looking at the numbers we're seeing here lately, the positivity rate has dropped in San Antonio. Hospitalizations are down. However, still over 1,300 people hospitalized. Do those decreases to you signal that this curve is headed downward, or are we not there yet?
You know, I was just looking at those numbers today, Myra, and it looks like we kind of peaked 3 days ago, but we haven't come down very far. You know, that it went up, and now it's kind of hovering, and it's not coming that far down. Other things people need to know is that the hospitals are extremely full right now. The emergency rooms and our medicine beds are experiencing record numbers. So it looks like, you know, the people that are sick from other things are coming in and getting their unmanaged diabetes and their diabetic foot ulcers and those kinds of infections and complications taken care of. So the hospitals are super, super full. It's not a good time to come to the emergency room. It's just one more reason to take that step and go ahead and get your vaccine against COVID-19 if you haven't done so already, because you don't want to have to be the one that's going into the emergency room feeling short of breath.
That's the best way to say thank you to our healthcare workers, too. Get the vaccine. Dr. Ruth Berggren, Long School of Medicine at UT Health San Antonio. As always, appreciate your time.
We'll be right back. Facebook Messenger has been around for 10 years now, and that's all the company needs to celebrate with some new features. A few of them have a birthday theme. For instance, users in the U.S. can now receive cash gifts from their friends through the text and voice messaging app.
Their gift message even comes with virtual wrapping, balloons. You can send a catchy birthday song using a sound emoji, whatever that is, and add confetti to it with a message effect. Facebook has also created a festive new birthday chat theme and an effect of birthday candles being blown out, all on Facebook Messenger, trying to compete with some of the other.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Look outside this evening, 95 degrees. We have some rain to talk about, Adam.
Yeah, actually, we're looking at some of the darker clouds off in the distance, the northwest side of Bexar County, and that's where we have one downpour to speak of right now, and they're highly isolated in nature. Temperature 97, that was our high today. That's 2 degrees above the average. We have yet to hit 100, but Del Rio topped out at 102, Kerrville 94, and Pleasanton a high of 98. We'll fall through the 80s this evening. Storms coming to an end shortly after sunset. We'll talk about our rain chances and an update on Tropical Storm Ida coming up.
It's been pretty good all summer, but we could use some more of it, some rain.
We could, and it's Thursday.
Just wanted to
bring it. Doesn't it seem like it's been a long time since we've done Thermometer Thursday?
It has been a long time. I was out sick, now all better and
that's right.
Flowing with antibodies now, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I did get vaccinated as well, and that helped me out quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was just more of a nagging nuisance type of sickness that I had for many days and made me tired. Anyway, weather headlines. Pop-up showers out there today, more the next couple of afternoons. Tropical Storm Ida in the Caribbean, and we have an updated track and forecast for Tropical Storm Ida. Let's get right to it with our radar first and foremost. A little bit of activity scattered across central and south Texas. Not a whole lot, but you do notice a few outflow boundaries, those thin green lines. Basically, the thunderstorms exhaling a little bit, and they can kick up their own thunderstorms. So we watch those as they move around, and there's still about an hour or so where we could see some new development from some of those little outflow boundaries here and there. One of them right along the Bexar County line here, just west and northwest of Leon Springs, did pop up a little shower. And we have some activity in Blanco County heading southwestward toward Kendall County. And that's got a little bit of lightning and thunder with it. So it's going to hold together a little bit longer than some of the other brief showers we've had. Moving out of the hill country toward Highway 90, that's where we have some activity at the moment. And this, as you can see, isn't quite as put together as it was just even an hour ago. But it's good to see some areas of rain, a little bit of lightning and thunder, and even in eastern Valverde County, it's nice to see some of that activity. Now, we don't have a drought right now, but it would be nice to get a few more showers. Cross your fingers. Don't get your hopes too high the next couple of afternoons, as we'll have just similar activity, isolated. The coverage is going to be very limited. So if you happen to get a downpour, just consider yourself lucky, as they will be popping up here and there, but the vast majority of us aren't likely to actually get hit by the rain. Tropical showers are likely to stay east of us as a result of the current forecast path of Tropical Storm Ida. So this is Tropical Storm Ida, just south of Cuba at the moment, and it's a very low-end tropical storm at the time. Max sustained winds 40 miles per hour. It's a bunch of rain right now, and it's likely to cross over western Cuba, so really not strengthen a whole lot here through Friday, through tomorrow. But once it gets into the Gulf of Mexico, conditions are ideal for rapid intensification, likely into a high-end 2, maybe even Category 3 hurricane by Sunday, and then potential landfall around midday Sunday, somewhere possibly from western Louisiana toward Mississippi. We have a better idea of where this should go right now. However, keep in mind, these forecast tracks often drift one way or another. So it's something we still need to monitor. But right now, it looks like the primary impacts would stay out of Texas as it stands now. It's still a young system, has a lot of development to do, and our steering flow can change a little bit, so we'll keep you updated. 94 now, feels like 99. Check out the 70s in parts of the hill country. That's some rain-cooled air. And as we go through the evening, temperatures will be falling through the 80s. Tomorrow, 76 in the morning, 94 for the high temperature, and there's that 30% chance. So if you pop up rogue thunder showers tomorrow afternoon, again Saturday, and even a few on into Sunday. But right now, odds heavily favor that tropical moisture staying far east of our area. Oh, that's a good sound. It's been too long. I will say, when I was sick and I was just getting over COVID, you go through spurts of a lot of energy. You kind of feel normal, and you do get up, do a few things. I did get started on some new thermometers, and then I would go nap for a while and then get back at it. Anyway, I want to talk about something that's never happened to me before until recently. So I've talked to you before about how I exercise the thermometers. Once I fill them and seal them, before I calibrate, I put them in warm water. That is warm water you see there. It looks like coffee because the dye in the thermometer is in that water, but I put them in warm water and cold water, warm water, cold water, to really get that fluid moving inside there, the alcohol. Well, what happened to me, and I've never had this happen, as I put this one thermometer in the hot water to get the temperature to rise, to exercise it, the temperature wasn't rising, and I was thinking, what's going on? And then there was a big pop, and some water splashed up, and the alcohol actually exploded in the water there. Thankfully, I did have my safety glasses on, and it was contained. The little explosion was contained just to the water. So, a few drops splashed upwards, but that was it. I've never had that happen before. All right, quickly to our winner. I could go on and on about this, but anyway, Fred McConnell, San Antonio. I sent you the email a little while ago. You're the winner. Go to ksat.com/thermometer to enter the drawing to win a thermometer.
It's been a long time since we've done Thermometer Thursday when I say I miss Thermometer Thursday.
Oh.
Don't get used to it.
I was going to say, I'm not. I'm already over it already.
In case you missed it, coming up next. Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
A big rig on fire and hanging on the side of a highway. This is in Seguin on I-10 at State Highway 123 bypass. Seguin police say there are multiple fatalities from this crash. Here's what we know right now. Before the major collision, a semi carrying meat product lost its load on this bridge. Police say this caused the highway to be slick. Moments later, a second semi drove through. The tried to avoid the slick road, but instead hit that guardrail and crashed. That is the semi that you see hanging off the highway.
The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office is still working to identify a driver who was killed in a rollover crash on the northwest side. San Antonio police say that the driver lost control, swerved around lanes, jumped a curb, and crashed into a concrete barrier. More than 10 San Antonio area school districts now conducting mass COVID-19 testing to help ensure a safe learning environment for students. The nonprofit community labs began conducting mass testing last September. They conduct weekly PCR tests at local school districts and returns results within 24 hours.
The CDC Advisory Board announcing it will meet publicly next week to discuss an official booster recommendation. Experts recommend waiting until 8 months after you're fully vaccinated. With the 8-month timeline in place, that means this fall and winter could combine booster season with annual flu shots. For most people, there's no rush to get the booster. Experts say your vaccine doesn't suddenly stop working 8 months later. Rather, its effectiveness fades slowly on a gradual slope. I want to give you an update on this fiery multi-vehicle crash in Seguin. This is video from earlier. We now know at least 3 people have died on this collision along I-10.
Along I-10, a couple of hours ago, it was over the overpass here of State Highway 123. We know that since then, the westbound lanes of I-10 have reopened. The eastbound lane still shut down, but as you can see, quite a mess that first responders have on their hands, with at least 3 fatalities here in Seguin.
Of course, continue to follow. We'll have the very latest coming up tonight on the Night Beat at 10. See you then.